So welcome. Thanks so much for coming. It's so sweet to connect in this way in virtual time and space and to be in a collective and a community. It's such a gift for me to be here with all of you. So thank you so much. I just finished a book called Untamed. Glennon Doyle. It's her second. She's wrote multiple books, but her first big one was Love Warrior, and then she just released Untamed. It's great. There's some really good stuff in there. I highly recommend it if you're looking to read a book about kind of self-exploration and making changes in your life, and it's a memoir. And she's talking. I can't remember exactly what the story was. I think it has to do with she's a recovering addict, and so I think she was referring to a time when she was at a AA meeting, and somebody approached her at the end of the meeting and talked about how it's really hard to sit with our feelings, and it's really challenging to sit with quiet and to go through really hard times, and a lot of times we want to do something to distract ourselves and to kind of hit a button and tune out. And right now we have a lot of time to sit with ourselves and to sit with silence and to sit with being really uncomfortable and being uncertain. And so she's telling this story, and at the end of the story, the woman that was talking to her at this meeting said to her, we can do hard things. And that sort of became her mantra. And so she always will refer to that when she's going through a difficult time. She'll say, we can do hard things. And I think that's what we're all doing right now. We can do hard things. So we are all having difficulty in some way, whether we're working really hard and work is frantic, whether we lost our jobs, whether we're afraid we're going to lose our jobs, whether we're afraid about paying the bills, whether we're afraid about going out in public and getting sick or spreading the virus. So there's lots of things that can kind of bring up uncomfortable feelings right now. But the good news is we can do hard things. We're 100% for that because we're still here. We're still standing. Think of all the times that you went through something, you're like, I just can't do this anymore. Like, this is so hard. But you got through it because you're still standing, you're still alive. It might not have turned out how you expected or how you wanted, but you're still here and still standing to tell the tale. So we can do hard things. So when we're doing poses, please, as always, take care of yourself, but know that it might be challenging, it might be difficult, and play that you want to be safe, but also you want to challenge yourself because you're capable of doing hard things. So thanks so much. Please close your eyes and take a comfortable position, and then come into your breath. Just feel it move in and out. Feel the belly and the shoulders and the torso rise and fall with each breath. And when we do this practice, we're turning inward. We're exploring ourselves, our body, our minds, our hearts, our spirits. And sometimes that can be a bit scary, the things that we learn, the things that we see. But we can do hard things. We got this. Please bring your hands together in front of your heart, palms touching. We'll sing the sound Om just one time together. You can join or simply listen. Please take a big breath in and then exhale completely. Take another breath in. May the fruits of this practice be for the upliftment of all beings. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And may all beings know true joy and love and the causes of true joy and love. Thank you so much, friends. Release your hands and open your eyes. And let's start in standing. So please come to the top of your mat. We'll start with a little warm up. So feet hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, toes pointing straight ahead. As you inhale, your arms go up. As you exhale, your arms go down. And we'll start with a little bit of movement with the legs. So as you inhale, take a little squat, little mini squat, like you're putting more weight in your heels, and then stand back up. So on the inhales, little sit, little squat. And on the exhale, stand back up, bring your arms back down. When you do your little chair pose, make sure you're pulling your belly towards your spine. Make sure you're putting more of the weight in your heels so that your knees don't go past your toes. Good strong core, warming up the legs, warming up the arms, moving breath and body together. On your next inhale, hold your chair pose, sit back into your heels, almost like you feel like you're going to fall back behind you. Pull your belly towards your spine, pull your ribs back towards your spine so you don't overarch your back. Maybe sit a little bit lower, feel that burn in your legs. Feel the strength, the heat that you're creating in your body. Please don't go so low that you have any pain in your knees. If you need to, come up a little bit higher. That'll help with any knee pain. Inhale, stand up, release your arms by your sides. Take your left arm up and over like you're doing a little crescent, and we'll go a few times side to side. You can give a little push on your hips as you reach up and over. Give a little nudge to your hips to go the opposite direction. Stay firm through your legs and through your feet. Push them down as you reach up and over. Belly stays strong. Pull your ribs towards your spine. Next time you reach your left arm up and over, let's hold it there. You can stay right here with your feet planted firmly on the floor, hip distance apart. Or you can step your left leg behind you slightly, getting a little bit more stretch on that outer left side of the torso. Keep pulling your belly and ribs back as you reach up and over. You're welcome to also add the arms so you can hold your left wrist with your right hand and stretch up and over. So lots of options, lots of versions. I know we have a lot of seasoned yogis in here, so I know you guys can take care of yourself. Give a little bend in your right knee. So you're bending your right knee as you stretch up and over. And then come back up. Switch sides. So just first start with reaching your right arm up and over. If you want to add, you can take that right leg behind you. Give a little bend in your left knee. You can add holding the wrist with the left hand. Reach up and over the whole time. You're pulling your belly and your ribs back so your core stays strong as you stretch that whole right side of the body. And then inhale, come back up, release your arms. Feet hip distance apart again. Inhale, reach your arms up, touch the sky. This time on your exhale, give a little bend in your knees as you fold forward. Uttanasana. You can have your hands on blocks, on the floor, whatever works for you. And let's just start to pulse with our breath a little bit. So as you inhale, bring your hands to your shins or to blocks or fingertips. Look forward like you're stretching your spine nice and tall. And then as you exhale, fold in. And I like to play with a little bend in my knees as I fold in. Releases the backs of my legs and my low back. As you inhale, go towards straighter legs as you reach your spine long. Exhale, fold in, little bend in your knees. Follow your own rhythm of your breath. On the inhales, look up, lengthen your spine, move towards straighter legs. On your exhales, bend your knees, bow in. And just feel the sensation in the back of the legs. Feel maybe the intensity of the stretch back there for some of us as you move back and forth. Whenever your next exhale happens, fold in, finish that forward fold, and then step both legs back in a downward facing dog. So spread your fingers super wide. Make your hands flat, connected to the earth. Lift your hips high to the sky. Feel the strength you're creating in your arms by lifting the armpits away from the floor, drawing your shoulder blades down your back. You feel strong and steady in your shoulders. Pull your belly towards your spine. Pull your ribs back towards your spine and feel that strength you're creating in your core. It's like you're preparing yourself to do all the hard poses that are to come. So we can do hard things. And you feel that as you're gaining that strength in your body. On an inhale, come forward to plank pose. Shoulders come over your wrist, belly strong. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. So same thing, follow your breath a few times as you inhale, come forward. Really pull that belly button, and even below your belly button towards your spine. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. When you go into your down dog, if it feels good to keep your knees a little bit bent as you warm up, please do so. As the backs of the legs start to respond, you might go straighter in your legs. Most important thing is you keep your core nice and strong. Keep your arms like you're pulling them towards each other. When you go into your down dog, it's like you're lifting the undersides of the arms away from the floor. That'll keep strength in the shoulder girdle. The next time you go back into your down dog, hold it. And then on an inhale, step your right foot forward. You're going to bring your left knee down to the floor. So pad your knee if you need to, because we're going to be kneeling on this knee a couple times for a couple poses. Ardha Hanumanasana, half split pose. Straighten your right leg. You can start on blocks, or you can fold forward. No blocks, or lower the blocks. Spread your toes on your right foot. Pull your right heel back to the back edge of the mat. Pretend like you could pull your left knee forward to the front edge of the mat. Fold forward, but lengthen your spine as you do so. So think long spine, almost like the top of the head reaches in the same direction as the sole of your right foot. And as you breathe into it, and as your body opens, you might be able to come more off the blocks or lower on the blocks. Nice steady breath. Bend your right knee. You're going to come into a lunge pose so that your left knee is straight up and down. Squeeze your belly in, squeeze your left butt in, and actually take a block to the outside of your right hip just so it's ready. Inhale, reach your arms up, touch the sky. Keep pulling that right heel back. At the same time, draw the left knee forward so you feel these muscles engaging around your pelvis as you reach up tall. You can bend your right knee a little bit more to feel a stretch through the front of that left hip, but please don't go into a deep lunge here. Stay more upright. Bring your right hand to that block, reach your left arm up and over. Right heel back, keep drawing your left knee forward. Stay strong in the muscles around the pelvis as you stretch up and over. You might come lower on the block or higher on the block, depending how you feel. Inhale, come back up. Again, pull that right heel back, draw that left knee forward, reach your left arm forward, reach your right arm back. So you're twisting over your right leg. Keep squeezing your left glute as you rotate so you're facing your right knee. Belly stays strong. Feel the length in your spine as you reach up through the top of your head. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, touch the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Kick your right leg straight back behind you, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, twist your hips open like you're stacking your right hip on top of your left. Flare both toes. As you open that knee up, at the same time, squeeze your legs towards each other. Lengthen the left side of your torso by lifting your left armpit forward and your left pelvis back to the back edge of your mat. And then release that side. Come forward into plank pose. Lower all the way down, either knees first or straight legs. Reach your arms back behind you, palms face down to the floor, look down at the floor. Before you go up, pull your belly muscles in, so engage that core. Lift the fronts of the shoulders away from the floor, draw them down your back. Now lift your arms up and legs up. Resist, so your belly is going to try to smush into the floor. You got to try to pull it away and push your pubic bone into the floor more. That'll protect your low back. Squeeze your butt to lift the legs up. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Steady breath. Slowly release down and then press back in a downward facing dog. Okay, so we got to do that same sequence on the other side. So step your left foot forward. Ardha Hanumanasana, half split pose. If it's okay in your back toes, curl the back toes under or keep the foot flat if that's better for your foot. Drive your left heel down into the floor and pretend like you could pull it back to the back edge of your mat. And at the same time, you're feeling like you could pull your right knee and right hip forward to the front edge of the mat. That will intensify the stretch a little bit. You might go lower on your blocks or ditch your blocks as you breathe into it. As you drive that left heel down into the floor at the same time, try to squeeze your left quad muscle, the front of that thigh, which will also intensify the stretch. Long spine, reach the top of the head forward to the front of your mat. Belly strong. Bend your left knee, slide it back slightly for a lunge pose. Place that block to the outside of the left hip. Start with that right knee straight up and down. Squeeze your right glute muscle. Pull your belly towards your spine, almost like you're tucking your pelvis under slightly, your imaginary tail. Reach your arms up, touch the sky. So this is hard. This is a lot of engagement. We ask a lot of you in these alignment classes to pay attention, to activate these muscle groups. Pull that left heel back. That'll engage your hamstring and butt more on that left side. And as you pull back, feel like the right hip and right knee could draw forward. So all this is hard, right? You can do hard work. It's evident here in your practice. Squeeze that right glute, lift up nice and tall. Bring your left hand to the block to the outside of the left hip. Reach your right arm up and over. Everything stays the same. Keep doing that work, and all of a sudden you'll feel like your butt muscle turned off on the right side. So squeeze it again. Engage that glute as you stretch up and over. Inhale, come back to center. Reach your right arm forward, reach your left arm back, twisting over the left leg. Don't let anything change in your pelvis, so keep it nice and strong. Left heel pulls back, right knee pulls forward. Belly strong, spine tall. Inhale, come back to center. Touch the floor, step back into downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, make your arms straight and strong. Squeeze them towards each other. Lift your left leg up, bend your left knee, twist open, like you're stacking your left pelvis on top of your right. Lift your right armpit away from the floor. Press your right pelvis back to the back edge of your mat. Hang in there. Breathe. Release your left leg down. Come forward into plank pose, top of a push-up. Lower down either straight legs or come to your knees first. Hands on either side of your chest this time. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Your big toes, your little toes draw down. Draw the fronts of the shoulders away from the floor and down your back, and then inhale, come up into cobra. Squeeze your glutes. Keep your inner heels drawing in, but your pinky toes pushing down into the floor. Keep pulling your belly back towards your spine as you try to push your pubic bone into the floor more. Lift up through your chest. Try to push down more. You might not actually lift up more, but push into your hands more. Pain-free in your low back. If it hurts, come down or engage your core more, engage your butt more and see if that helps. Slowly release and then press back in a downward facing dog. Enjoy your breath. On an inhale, step your right foot forward or take your right foot wider to the right side of your mat. Left knee down to the floor again for a groin stretch. Lizard pose. You can stay here on your hands. You can come down onto blocks, or you can come down all the way to the floor. Please don't just sink into the pose. So you can do hard work. You can engage your muscles here. Don't just collapse into it. So pull your belly towards your spine. Squeeze your legs towards each other like there's an imaginary block between them. Pull your right heel back to the back edge of your mat, your left knee forward to the front edge of the mat. Now on the right side more, tuck your imaginary tail under. When you do that, you'll feel your right butt muscle engage and you'll feel your belly engage more. You might come off the blocks. You might need to go higher on the blocks. You just listen to what your body's asking and telling you. If you're on your elbows, walk back up onto your hands. We're going to come into a twist, so you can twist over your right leg and reach your right arm up to the sky. Or you can come into twisted monkey, where you bend your back knee, reach around with the right hand to grab hold of the foot. So options. Do the option that serves your body. If you're coming into the thigh stretch, please flare your toes out. As you pull your heel in towards your butt, open your chest to the right. Core stays strong. Shoulders draw back. You can stay on your hand. You can come onto your elbow. As long as you can maintain a nice steady breath. As long as you can maintain your left toes flaring apart. Keep driving that right heel down into the floor, almost like you could pull it back to the back edge of the mat. Keep that right glute engaged. Inhale to slowly let go of that foot. Step back in downward facing dog. Again, spread your fingers, arms straight and strong. Take your right leg straight back, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, twist your hips open. Stack your right hip on top of your left. Squeeze, like you could tuck and squeeze your left glute underneath you. So don't over kind of stretch. You have to stay engaged. You have to stay strong. And then slowly release that side down. Come forward into plank pose. Either lower to your knees or lower down straight legs. Interlace your fingers behind you. Give a little bend in your elbows. If you need to hold a strap, please put a strap between your hands. Before you go up, pull your belly in, push your pubic bone down towards the floor, squeeze your glutes. Lift your fronts of your shoulders away from the floor, then lift your chest up, lift your legs up, Shalabhasana. If this is too much on your shoulders, you can just separate your hands and do the first version that we did. Reach your knuckles back, reach your toes back. Keep trying to push your pubic bone into the floor more and pull your belly away from the floor more. Look down towards the front of the mat. It's better for your neck. Slowly release. Press back, downward facing dog. Okay, second side. Left foot goes wide. Right knee down to the floor. Lizard pose on the left. You can stay on blocks. You can come down to the floor. You can stay on your hands. Most important thing is you can breathe. Slow, steady breath. And that you can keep your engagement. You can keep your strength. So your belly draws in. Drive your left heel down to the floor and feel like you could tuck your left glute under you more, like you have a tail on your left side. When you do that, you'll feel your belly lift more. See if you can squeeze that right glute. Can you stay engaged there as well? If you're on your elbows, please come up, taking it to a twist. So twist over your left leg. You can reach your left arm up to the sky, or you can bend your left knee coming into twisted monkey or a thigh stretch. Flare your toes on the right. As you pull your heel towards your right butt, open your chest up towards the left. You can come down onto your elbow. You can stay on your hand. As you pull your heel in, twist your shoulders back and your chest open towards your left leg. Belly stays strong. Keep tucking that left glute under. Keep pulling your belly back towards your spine. Inhale to slowly release that side. Press back, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, make your hands big. Lift your left leg back behind you. Bend your left knee, twist open. Stack your left hip on top of your right. Just tuck or wrap your right glute underneath you as you shoot that left knee high to the sky. Stay long on the right side of your torso. Lift your right armpit forward to the front of the mat. Tack your right pelvis back to the back of the mat. Slowly release that side. Walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold at the back edge of your mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to feel a release in your low back and to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So bend as much as you need to be able to tolerate this, to be able to hang in there, to breathe into the stretch in the back of the legs. Little bend in your knees, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Turn to face the long edge of your mat. Have blocks handy or books, whatever you're using these days. Turn your right toes to face the front edge of your mat, and then your left foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. Bend your front knee and bring your hands either to blocks or to the floor on the inside of your right foot. So you're kind of in like warrior two stance in your legs, but then your hands are on the floor. Look at your right knee. Make sure your right knee is pointing over your right toes. Tuck or wrap your right butt underneath you like crazy. When you do that, you'll feel your belly engage more and your glute engage more on that right side. You might choose to come lower on the blocks or ditch the blocks altogether. Keep tucking or wrapping under on that right glute. A lot of work on that right side. Squeeze your left thigh straight and strong. As you push that left foot into the floor, spread your toes wide. Start walking your hands right inside that right foot. You might want to block and put your right hand right inside that right leg. Open your chest up. So this is a different version of side angle pose, and then reach your left arm straight up to the sky. Super important, please keep tucking and wrapping your right glute under. You don't want your right butt to stick out behind you. Tuck under, belly engages, chest opens. Left arm reaches straight up to the sky. You can use that right elbow to gently encourage that right knee to stay wide, but also use your right butt muscles to wrap and tuck. Yeah, there you go. I'm watching some of you. Okay, release your right hand to the left hand to the floor. Straighten both legs and turn both toes to face the long edge of your mat for a wide forward fold. Both legs are straight. You can have your hands on blocks or hands on the floor. Prasarita Padottanasana. Fold forward, draw the shoulders away from your ears. So shoulder blades down your back as you fold forward between straight legs. Try to feel the weight evenly. A lot of times we go to our toes in this pose, so try to push into your heels also evenly. Take the inseams of your thighs way back behind you. Keep them there. Now pull your belly towards your spine and feel like you could tuck your imaginary tail under, but you don't actually move, to help engage your butt muscles, even as you're stretching them. Walk your hands forward if you're folded forward. Turn your left toes to face the back of your mat. If you need to bring your blocks with you, please do so. So now we'll do the same thing on the left side. So you're in warrior two legs, and your hands are to the inside of your left foot. Look at your left knee. Make sure the left knee points straight ahead over your toes. The tendency is for you kind of just to sink into the pose. Then your left hip gets kind of cranky and you're not using your butt muscle at all. So tuck or wrap your left glute underneath you. When you do that, you'll feel your belly lift away from your left leg. Get strong in your back leg. Squeeze that back leg straight and strong. Spread your toes on both feet. Feel anchored in your feet. Steady in your feet. Walk your hands right inside that left foot. You can come to a block or you can be on the floor. Same thing, tuck and wrap that left glute underneath you. When you do that, you'll feel your butt engage. You'll feel your belly engage. Chest opens, right arm up. So it's a different variation of side angle pose. If you have any pain in your left hip, please bring your left elbow to your left thigh. Inhale to slowly release. Make both legs straight again. Turn both toes to face the long edge of your mat. This time we're going to take it into a twist with both legs straight. So option 1, keep your left hand where it is, right hand to your hip, twist open to your right, reach your right arm straight up to the sky. Okay, that's option 1. That's the more accessible twist. Option 2 is take your left hand, hold the outside of your right shin. Come up onto your right fingertips. Push down into those right fingertips. Look underneath your right arm as you twist to the right. So I'm using my hand to pull my shin towards my other leg, and then I twist open against that. Everybody push your left outer hip out to the left. Inhale, slowly unwind. Okay, second side. Option 1, keep the right hand where it is, left hand to your hip. Twist open, you can reach your left arm up to the sky. Or option 2, which is a deeper twist, stay up onto your left fingertips. Take your right hand, hold the outside of your left shin. Pull your shin in like you're pulling your legs towards each other. Then twist against that. So you're twisting over your left leg. Push down into your fingertips to twist open. Everybody push the right side of your pelvis out to the right more. It's going to want to collapse in. You got to push it out as you twist to keep the pelvis level and square. Inhale to slowly unwind. Walk your feet a little bit closer together. Little bend in your knees, hands to your hips. Inhale to come all the way up to stand. Okay, take your feet wide apart again. We're going to do triangle pose and then go right into half moon pose. So if you want blocks or a wall, please get yourself set up for that. Right toes point to the front edge of your mat. Left foot parallel to the back edge. Both legs straight. Right hand comes to the outside of the right foot, either to a block or to the floor. Same thing here. Make sure that right knee keeps pointing straight ahead over your right toes. Tuck or wrap your right glute underneath you more. Use that right glute. It's so strong. It's such a powerful muscle. We want to use it to support ourselves in the poses. Open your chest up. You're welcome to reach your left arm up, or you can keep your left hand at your hip. Triangle. Spread your toes. Push the big toes into the floor, little toes into the floor. Inner and outer edge of the heel push down into the floor. As you push your big toes into the floor, squeeze your thigh muscles as well. Coming into half moon pose, left hand to hip. Bend your right knee, take little baby hops to balance on your right hand and right foot. Stack open, just like we did in three-legged dog. You're opening, stacking your left pelvis on top of your right. Keep a little bend in your standing leg. Please don't lock it out. You're welcome to bring your hand up to the sky if that feels like it's controlled and doable. If it feels like it gets out of control, then bring your hand back down or your gaze back down. Keep wrapping and tucking that right glute underneath you. So much work on that side. You got this. Hang in there. Breathe. You can do hard things. Bring your left hand to your hip. Bend your right knee. Slow motion. Step back. Controlled. Triangle pose. Bend your right knee. Inhale to come all the way back up to stand. Second side, triangle to half moon. Get your block if you need it. Both legs straight. Left hand to the outside of the left foot. So again, you don't want your left butt kind of sticking out. When that happens, your chest comes kind of forward to the floor. Tuck and wrap your left glute underneath you. When you do that, you're going to be able to open your chest more up to the sky. You're welcome to keep your hand at your hip or reach your top arm up to the sky, triangle. Spread your toes. Push them into the floor. Big toe, little toes, inner and outer edge of the heel. But as you push those big toes into the floor, also squeeze your thigh muscles really strong. Lift those kneecaps up. Bend your front knee. Shift your weight forward, coming into half moon pose. Keep a little bend in your standing leg. Stack open, like you can stack your right hip on top of your left. Open your chest. You're welcome to reach the top arm up or keep it on the hip. Most important thing is you feel steady and stable and strong in that left glute. Tuck under on that side. Breathe, hang in there. Bring your top hand to your hip, bend your front knee, step back, slow motion. Triangle pose. Little bend in your left knee, come all the way up to stand. Okay, come to kneel. We're going to do gate pose or Parigasana. So kneel on your mat. Use a blanket if you have one. Take your right leg out to the right. Right heel is down. Right toes point straight up to the sky. My left knee is right underneath my left hip. You can bring a block to the inside of the right leg. Bring your right hand to the block. Same thing, you don't want your butt to tip forward or tip back and your chest forward. So tuck and wrap your left or right glute underneath you. Open your chest up. Reach your top arm up and over. Gate pose. So it's sort of like you're leaning over your right leg. Core stays strong. Squeeze your left glute. And your right side, wrap under, like you have an imaginary tail on that side. You might go lower on the block or ditch the block as you breathe. Inhale to come all the way back up to stand. Second side, gate pose or Parigasana. Left heel down, left toes up. Block to the inside of the left leg. Left hand down to the block. Tuck or wrap your left side underneath you. Use that big glute muscle. Feel your belly open up towards your camera. Reach your top arm alongside the ear. You might go lower on your block or ditch your block. One side might be more open than the other to not need the block. Keep squeezing your left thigh. Squeeze that left quad as you open that whole right side of the torso. Inhale, come on back up. Perfect. Let's come on up to stand. Gonna do warrior 3, but we're gonna move with a little bit. So all the weights to your right foot. Step your left foot back behind you a little bit. Give a little bend in your right knee so you don't lock it out. Let's do it in stages. We'll do 5 of them on each side. Bring your torso towards the floor. As you do that, sit back into your right heel so you sit and engage your right glute more. Your right knee doesn't go past your toes. Then lift your left foot up off the floor. You can straighten the left leg, which will make it more difficult, coming into more of a full warrior three. But we're going to move. Bend your left knee again. Bring your torso upright. So now you're balancing on your right foot. Bring your torso down again towards the floor, ultimately parallel. Put the weight in your right heel. Straighten your left leg halfway, all the way. Bend your left knee. Bring your torso upright. That's 2. We got 3 more. Bring your torso towards the floor. Sit your weight into your right heel. Pull your belly in. Half straighten, full straighten that left leg. Bend your left knee. Bring your torso upright. I hope people's butts are burning. 2 more. Bring your torso towards the floor. Weight in your right heel. Half straight, all the way straight left leg. Bring the left knee in. You got this. We can do hard things. 1 more. Bring your torso towards the floor. Sit back into your right heel. Half straighten or all the way straighten your left leg. Bend your left knee. Inhale, come all the way back up. Whew. Shake out that right side. Hopefully your right butt was really working. I can see people shaking, so it looks good. Okay, other side. So left leg, we got this. Step your right foot slightly behind. Keep a little bend in your left knee. Don't lock it out. Bring your torso forward, parallel towards the floor. Sit the weight into your left heel. Lift your right foot off the floor. You can stay half straighten or go full straighten. You can bring the knee back in, bring the torso back up. 1. Bring your torso towards the floor. Weight in that left heel. Sit back like you're sitting into a chair. Half straighten or full straighten the right leg. Bend that knee, come back upright. Torso towards the floor again. Put the weight in the left heel. Half straighten or full straighten your right leg. Bring it back up, or bring it back in. Bring your torso back up. 2 more. Torso towards the floor. Sit the weight in your left heel. Straighten your right leg. Bend your right knee back in. Come upright. Last one. Torso towards the floor. Put the weight in the left heel. Half straighten, full straighten that right leg. Belly stays strong. Bring that right knee back in. Torso upright. Whew. Shake that left leg out. Good job. Now let's stretch those glutes out. You can use blocks. You can use a wall. Put your weight on your left foot. Cross your right ankle over. So it's like a figure 4, but we're going to do it in standing. So bend your knee. Your standing leg. Sit back like you're sitting into a chair. You can bring your hands to blocks or to the floor. Same thing here is put the weight through your left heel so that you're not bringing your knee forward because that'll stress out your knee. Sit back like you're sitting into an imaginary chair behind you. You might go lower. You might not use the blocks. You can push your left hand into the sole of your right foot. And as you push your hand into your foot, push your foot back into your hand and feel that sensation in your right glute area. Big stretch in the hip joint itself and also in the muscles around the back of the hip. Belly stays strong. Breath stays easy. Slowly release that side, and then we'll switch sides. Cross your left ankle. Bend your standing leg. Chest comes forward, sit back like you're sitting into a chair. Again, hands on blocks or hands on the floor, your choice. You're welcome to put the right hand at the sole of the foot. Push your foot into your hand, push your hand into your foot. Feel that sensation in the outer left back of your left hip. You can also imagine like you could push your left ankle down into your right thigh more. That will also intensify the sensation of the stretch. Slowly release that side. Inhale, come all the way back up to stand. If you have a blanket, you can roll it up. We're going to do squat pose or malasana pose. So if you want to, you can make a roll. Put your heels on the roll, toes off the roll, and then you're going to squat down. If you don't need it, you don't need it. You can just ditch it. If anybody has knee pain, definitely one, try the roll, or just do chair pose like we did our first pose of class. You can bring your hands together, prayer pose. Give a little nudge to your inner thighs to widen them out. Lift up through the top of the head as your butt moves down to the floor. Try to sit up nice and tall in your spine. Super hard, but we can do hard things. Again, you use your blanket. If it's starting to become too much on your knees or your ankles, use a blanket. It's so helpful. And then stand back up. Okay, so now we're going to do it with one leg. So this is called Skandasana. If you were using a blanket, I highly suggest you use it again. Let's put your left heel on the blanket. Your right leg goes out to the side. You're going to bend your left knee as you start to wiggle and take your your right knee is bent and your left leg is straight out. My left heel is on the ground. My left toes point up to the sky. If this is too much on your knee, so your one leg is basically in Malasana like you just did, and your other leg is straight out to the side, toes point up. If this is too much on your knee, just come up and do the same side lunge we did earlier. So this is just more of a hip stretch as we come down. It's also a big stretch on that inner left thigh. If you're all the way down like I am, drive that heel down into the floor. Try to tuck or wrap your butt under. Sit up nice and tall. Good, strong core. Don't just hang in, don't just drop into your hip. Good. Inhale, come back up. Switch sides. So put the heel under, put the blanket underneath your left heel. Turn your left toes out slightly on an angle. Then you can walk your right leg out to the right. Right heel is down, right toes are up. Skandasana is what this pose is called. Again, if this is not comfortable, not doable on your hip and knee, no big deal. Do what we did before when we were in sort of that warrior two pose with your hands on the ground. If you're all the way down, feel the sensation in the right inner thigh. Feel the sensation in your left hip. Spread your toes on both feet. And then inhale to come back up. Okay. Come to your mat. We're going to do side plank. We're going to do it twice with different variations. So let's have you put your right hand down on the floor, turn your right fingertips slightly towards the front right corner of your mat. So option one is my right leg is bent and down on the floor. My left leg is straight. That's option one. That's doable for everybody here. Option two, straighten your bottom leg, step your left foot in front. Make a kickstand. Option three, full plank. Choose the option that works best for you. Good, strong core. Feel the challenge, but you also are in control. As you waver, as you feel fatigue, keep breathing. We can do hard things. Slowly release that side. Second side. Turn the left fingertips slightly to the left corner of the mat. Option one, keep the left knee down, right leg straight. Option two, straighten the left leg, step your right foot in front. Kickstand. Option three, stack. Belly draws in. Push down into that left hand. Push it down into the floor. Those of you that tend to lock out your elbow, keep a little bend in it. Hang in there, use your breath. And slowly release. Okay, we're going to do it one more time on each side. You have those three options. The next option would be tree pose. You can bring the foot up in a tree pose. You can hug the knee in. Those of you that know full Vashisthasana, you can go for it. Okay, so options here, do what is challenging, but is doable. You feel in control, you can still breathe. So I'll walk you through it. Turn your right fingertips to the right corner of your mat. I'm going to go through every option. Right knee down, left leg straight. Step your left foot forward. Stack. Tree. If you're doing tree, push the foot into the leg, push the leg back into the foot. If you want to hug your knee in, hug your left knee with your left hand. If you want to do full Vashisthasana, that's accessible to you. You know how to do it. It's not a new thing. Go for it. Slowly release. Good work. This is it. Starting to slow down after this. Left hand down. Option 1, right leg straight, left knee on the floor. Option 2, step your right foot in front of you, kickstand. Option 3, stack. Option 4, tree pose. Option 5, hug your knee in towards your chest. Last option is full Vashisthasana with a strap or with your hand. Whichever option you're doing, push into the floor. Push that hand down. Good job. Slowly release. Take child's pose. You did it. You made it. You survived. You did hard things. Let your butt move towards your heels. Knees about hip distance apart. Breathe. Let your heart rate settle. Let your breathing rate settle. Come back to that natural rhythm of breath. And then come to lay on your back. You're going to cross your legs like you're completely crossing your right leg over top of your left. Lift both feet off the floor. And you're going to take your hands and hold your shins. And I'm going to pull, like it's double pigeon pose. So I'm pulling my shins and my feet towards me. So you should feel a stretch in your outer. I have my right knee on top, so I'll feel my stretch in my outer right butt. Try not to. Keep your head relaxed, jaw relaxed. Slowly release, switch sides. So your left leg crosses on top. Lift both feet off the floor. I'm holding my shins with both hands. Hold both shins, the opposite shin. And I'm pulling the shins towards me, pulling the feet towards me. And I feel a big stretch in my outer left hip area. Really big on this side. This side's tighter. Slowly release that side. If you have a blanket or a pillow or a towel, put it between your knees and your ankles, just to give like a little cushion. Lift your hips up and over a little bit to the right side of your mat, and then drop your knees to the left side of your mat. Take your arms out to a T. If it's okay in your neck, you can look over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Shift your butt over to the left side. Drop your knees to the right. If it's okay in your neck, you can look over your left shoulder. You're also welcome. I take my right hand and I hold my outer left thigh. I sort of pull it across my body as I twist my torso to the left. Just makes a little bit more twist. and come back up to center. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. You can rock side to side if that feels good. And then allow your legs to go long. Shavasana. So you made it through another class. Another challenge for your body. Even a challenge for your mind to stay focused, stay present. As you rest in Shavasana, I'm going to just quietly sing a chant. And this is a chant to Durga. Durga is a powerful warrior goddess in Indian tradition and mythology. And all the stories about her, she does really hard things. She goes through different battles and slays the most challenging of demons that no one else can slay. She is our protector with such a nurturing, loving, compassionate mother. So as we go through hard things, we rise to the challenge, but we're also so compassionate and loving with ourselves and with others as we all go through this process together. Jaya Jagadambe, Jai Jaya Jagadambe, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga. Jaya Jagadambe, Jai Jaya Jagadambe, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga. Jaya Jagadambe, Jai Jaya Jagadambe, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga. Jaya Jagadambe, Jai Jaya Jagadambe, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga. Jaya Jagadambe, Jai Jaya Jagadambe, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga. Jaya Jagadambe, Jai Jaya Jagadambe, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga. Bring your attention back to sound. Allow your breath to deepen. And slowly begin to move and stretch in any ways that feel good for you. Eventually bend your knees, roll to your right side. Rest there for a few moments. Thank your body for its support. And thank yourself for being this amazing, strong warrior. Remember that you can do hard things. We all can. We're capable of so much. So we bow into this inner